Hello everyone, it's Great Taz here once again with some World of Tanks news. This is going to be a lot to digest and I'm hopefully going to be able to get it out all in one video and without making you sit here for an hour. There's a lot going on, so let's get onto it, into it, whatever to it, in 3, 2, 1, roll out. Alright everyone, what we're going over today, if you've already seen the thumbnail, is we're going to be going over 1.24.1, which has hit the common test server as of the 21st of March 2024. What is surprising about this is the simple fact that in January, 1.24 just hit the live server. So literally 2 months later, we're already looking at a new test server. What does this mean? Wargaming had a lot of this stuff already worked out, probably when 124 hit. They were in the final testings inside their own studio to get this stuff worked up. Overall, there's a lot going on here. So what we're going to do is get into it and all that stuff. So let's start with what is coming, and we're going to do this back and forth type of bit. We're going to go from the game to the site and back and forth. As we talk about something on the site, we're going to be talking about it in the game. But we're just going to start with what is going on in the game itself. So let's go ahead and get right on in there. And here we are in the game, and this is what you will see the very first time you log into the common test server for 124.1. And this gives a lot of information. It's not very detailed information, and that's why we're going to jump back to the page. First, you're going to see now each crew member, right here, you're going to see each crew member is going to have a qualification of a level 0. You're not going to, or 100. You're not going to have any 0, 50, or 75% crews. Anybody about 100, below 100, is automatically going to get moved to 100. Values above 100 are treated as crew efficiency bonuses. They're renaming the major skills to efficiencies. All right, this parameter can be increased by using consumables, equipments, just like it can now. So consumables, vents, increasing your major skill is going to be identical. And the last thing you see here on this first page is all the crew members XP needed to train a crew from 0 to 100%, that doesn't say 0, will be added to the XP of their most recently churned. So basically all crews are starting at 100%, so 0 experienced crew is a 100% crew. As before, just numbers, 100,000 experienced crew was a 100% crew. I don't know what the exact numbers are because I don't know. So that's what's going to be. So that 100,000 credit experience is going to go into the perk. So what does that mean? Are crews going to train faster? Yes, because that first 100,000 experience is automatically pretty much going to be into your perks and skills. So you're not going to have to worry about that whole little thing. Next, when we go to the next page, you're going to see recruiting new members is now free. Recruiting them using in-game currency means their first perk will be trained better. So instead of starting, just think about it when you start a new crew. Right now you got free, which is a 50% crew, credits, which is a 75% crew, and then gold, which is 100% crew, and available of the first perk. Instead of it going to be their major skill or their efficiency bonus, it's going to be a perk. So a free crew is going to be 100% with 0% perk. Then a credit one is going to be 100% crew member with a 50% towards a perk. And then a gold is going to be 100% crew with their first skill 100% perk or skill available at 100%. So you'll be at 100% and then have a 0% second skill. So paying gold will get you a quicker crew. This is going to be very helpful for new players, but it's not going to be helpful for the overall, maybe for the free-to-play players, because the whole getting the 100% perk is going to cost a little bit. A crew member's major qualification can be changed for free during retraining. Perks are not reset. When they came out with the last crew update, they took this ability completely away. They took the ability to retrain one crew member as a commander and change him over to a gunner. It's gone. I've been testing this since the 21st of March trying to find it, and it's gone on the live server. It's just completely gone. I cannot take a crew member. I have crew that I want to move into a tank, but I already have a crew. I have one guy that's weak, but this guy is like 3-skill crew, and my weak guy's like a 1-skill crew because he's a new crew member. I want to take that 3-crew crew, train his major qualification to something else, and then my whole crew will be a lot better. The price of training remains the same. There's no additional penalty for XP when retraining the crew from vehicles of different type. The penalty is now applied upon changing qualification. So changing prices are still equal. So there's no change there. Perk efficiency for each crew member is 100%. By default, there is a linear progression that contains 100,000 crew experience. I've not figured out what this exactly means. So when crew experience is lost during retraining, it is deducted from the perks efficiency, which reduces the efficiency of all perks trained by the crew. Now, before, you could have your skills, but you would lose if you trained like a crew at 75 or 50% free or 20,000 credits. Basically, what we would do is you would lose some of their major qualifications. Some of the skills were available, but not all of the perks or skills were. Some worked, some did not. Now, all of them are going to take somewhat of a hit. Crew experience earned in the first battle goes towards restoring the perk efficiency to 100%, and then training towards new perks. Crew members who first perk are not trained to 100% can now retrain on other vehicles for free without losing experience. Those whose second perk is not trained to 100% receive a 50% discount in doing so. I've not tested this out overall. Crew members who are not trained to operate specific vehicles cannot use their perks when operating that vehicle. This does not include, even though this shows a premium reward tank symbol, it does not include those. If a crew member is trained to operate a specific vehicle, they are also considered trained to operate all premium and reward vehicles of the same type. So these two pictures here, honestly, I think are backwards. I think this was supposed to be here and this one was supposed to be here. I think this is a little goof, and 124.1 Common Test 2, you can probably see this as a change, because this is supposed to be over here and this is supposed to be over here, because this is a premium thing. All right, so overall, that is what you're first going to see. So I am on my old account to be able to do all this stuff here. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go and look at the new Polish TDs, because we're going to go down the line of what's on the site. We go over here and we look at Poland right here. It starts on the 40 TP. So let's take a quick look at the website, shall we? All right, as you can see here is overall what's coming in 124. So new balancing of TDs, vehicle rebalancing, map reworks, crew efficiencies, which we went over the intro portion there. Postmortem, final season of Onslaught, improvements to Steel Hunter, and Tour Return. Now, the TD line does come off, as you've seen, the 14 TP, and you basically, we'll get into that. But as you can see here, it is a 6-tank line, kind of like pretty much all the last ones. I think the Japanese TD line and I think the Japanese heavy rocket line are all 5s. I think maybe the Japanese is a 5, and I think the Japanese TD is a 6-tank crew. As you can see here, there are a whole bunch of them, 6 of them. They do have a very special mechanic, which we will go over, that's called star shells. Actually, the star shells are rockets, because this is basically how a rocket would work in basic early version of a rocket would work in the world, because the less fuel it burns, the more explosive it's going to be. So that's basically the concept of it. And as you can see here, deep rifled guns, they're going to have a velocity. The top one is 1,700 meters per second, and then the special is 2,000 meters per second. That is the TDEs. There's a lot going on, so let's go ahead and jump right back on into the game, shall we? So as like I said, the 14 TP, you need to research the turret and both guns, just like if you were going to the 25 TP, the medium line, which turns into the heavy line. You're going to need to do the turret and 2 guns to get there. You're going to need roughly 12,000, and I say 12,000. This is always better to have more experience than have less experience. That way, on day 1, you can go ahead and get that TD. First one is called the Zamayaka which is called SDP-40. As you can see here, much like the Japanese TD line that I went over last year, you only need to research the gun to be able to research the next tank so far. Spoiler alert, that's the way through the whole damn tree. So you have 4 modules that you need to research overall to max out or elite the tank: tracks, engine, radio, and gun. Now, if you're going to try to free experience through as much as this as possible, it makes it a lot easier, which I think is kind of crazy that they're doing this, but it does make it a lot easier. So all you need to do is research a gun, which will take you into the Burza at tier 6. All right, again, just like its predecessor, you only need to research a gun to get into the Go Wicca overall. So it does have, just like the ZAD, it does have a radio, it does have an engine, and it does have tracks. The Go Wicca, again, very similar to the Burza, and it has a 122 gun that you need to research before you can research the tier 8. Right back to the same thing, you have a radio, an engine, and tracks. Now you to completely get the tank full. Now if you want field modifications, of course, that starts at tier 6 right here, as you can see, and then you will need to research all the modules to be able for open field modification. The Kalana, again, is the same exact as the tier 7. You just need to research a gun before you can get to tier 9. Now, at tier 8 is where the special mechanic does come in to effect. So basically, it fires Star Tray rounds, and the closer you are to said tank, up to 50 meters is where it starts, and a maximum of 500 meters, you will have varying damage. So all the damage you're going to see on the gun here, when you look at them, is going to be a 50-meter damage. Now, remember, you're also going to have to deal with the very first line. You're also going to have to deal with RNG. So as you can see here, average damage at 50 meters is going to be for the 162 700, and then for the 162, which is actually kind of weird because it has less damage than at long range than the 150, is 350, 350, 700. HE does not affected by range on these tanks, I will tell you that, but their penetration is a lot lower. They're sitting around like the general standard level tier penetration for those type of tanks. So HE is not affected by range. However, the standard and the premium, special, or gold rounds, whatever you want to call them, they are both affected by range. So 50 to 500 is where the range will vary. 500 is the max range, not of damage, but where the damage will basically cut off, being less variable. The tier 9 tank right here is the Ganuki Wikaza. I don't speak Polish, sorry. It is crazy that way. So overall, you got 2 guns, a 162, which you start with, and a 175. Again, we are back to you only need to research the gun to get the next tank. But if you figure this, you're looking at 270 experience, 277 experience, object 277, 277,000 experience to be able to research the tier 10, and it only has 1 gun, which is the same gun that is on the top of the 9. Right here, again, tier 10, you don't have to research anything. Tier 9, you still have to get field modification. You still would need a radio, an engine, and also the tracks. So what do we have next overall is vehicle rebalancing. So that is the Polish TD Tech line. Let's go ahead and jump on back over to the website. 4 tanks are actually getting rebalanced. The PZ-7, the Foch 50B, these are getting buffs, and the Super Conqueror and the Minotauro are getting minor nerfs. What is it going to affect majorly? I don't think a huge lot, but it will affect some stuff. The Minotauro is losing some armor, and the Super Conqueror is losing, I think, some mobility a little bit. I'm not quite sure. There is a dedicated archer that you can get to right from their site themselves. So next is going to be map balancing. As you can see here, here is the before and the after, and we're going to start with map and pass. As you can see what they're doing here, they are literally, they're adding more back right in here, all the way to the red line to give a little bit more of a defensive portion and some defensible rocks, but they're taking away this whole hill back here and literally the whole bush line. So this is what they are doing partial for the southern, and they are putting another rock right here, moving this out, but they're moving this rock out a little bit, so you do have a little more defensive point right here, but there's no bushes. They are minimizing the amount of bushes on the southern, very southern portion of the map, as you can see here. Also, a rock near the mountain battle pass in the ice rock, as you can see here, it is pretty big. They are cutting away a lot of the hill through erosion. No, it's just Wargaming changing shit some more. As you can see here, they are cutting a lot of this hill back right here, and then this rock that is in the foreground here, they are making it more slopey, so there's more ability to fire over it. Kind of like the one they are doing over here. You can't really see it from the other side. Karelia, they are making a few changes too also. As you can see right here, this is what it looks like before. This is the B4 C5 squares. This is in the north base right here. As you can see, they are making it a little more high. They're almost putting another path, a slippery path in through here, making this a little bit more cliffy, kind of a little bit more like this southern base overall. Made shooting from TD spots near the base more difficult, which this was always a real pain. TDs could get up here on this ridge, hide behind these bushes, and it was a lot easier. So they are smoothing it out, but they're also putting a higher lip up here, as you can see. Down in the swamp, I'm not sure exactly where this is. I think this is, okay, this is towards the northern base also. Right here, as you can see, polished approach from the hill for the bottom team. They have, this is looking towards the southern base. They're putting less of a bigger rock in the north here, as you can see, and they're doing a bunch of little minor changes. As you can see here, right here, there's a bush here, no bush here before. They took some bushes out right here, and then moved a bush there. If you notice, watch very, very carefully, there are some minor changes in the background. They're taking some bush and trees out down there and adding some. If you look in the background, you can see a bunch of trees right here along this ridge that are now appearing that weren't there before, and some bushes right here along this ridge. This is all towards the southern base. Mines removes most of vegetation from C9. This was a royal pain in the butt area, especially for the bottom base. You can see here, if they got up in here, they could sit up in here. I've done it myself, part of the game, so I did it. And you're able to shoot down on the side of the hill into the back of the enemy. Matter of fact, I think they should just take this whole section out and make it where you can't, because you can't really do that from the southern. It takes you all the way over here, and you're very open. You have no buildings in your way. You have a lot of buildings over here you can hide behind, but you can get hit from the base over in here too. As where the southern line, you really can't. You can sit in a position where you can not get hit by a base, but you can hit from the hill. You can get hit from the hill, the base, and the edge over here. So as you can see, they're flattening it out. They're actually pushing the house back a touch into the hill, the front one. They're actually, you know, really, I don't know. They're destroying one house and building a new one, and they're pushing back the edge. You can't climb up it. They're pushing back the hill edge a little bit right there. As you can see, they are taking away most of the bushes right here at the edge, and then as you get out here further, they're making an easier line to shoot from the northern base right here into the enemies. As you can see, if you look into the background, they are adding bushes back there, bushes and trees, or that's just some dark that's just smoke. All right, so but they are, if you watch right in here, you can see they're adding a few bushes or moving a few bushes around. Again, as you can see, this is what you can also see. This is what it looks like before. They're moving the bushes around. Someone came and did some landscaping, took out these bushes here, and then planted them up against the rock. So as you can see there, and they're taking this building right here, and they're just remodeling it and making it more like a trailer single story home instead of a double story home with a big flat face on the back. That is Mines Ella Hoof. They're removing a bush from C2 that interfered with the fire between heavy vehicles, outposts. They raised some vegetation in G7. Improved the playing surface of light vehicles, added new stones to adjust in G8, G9, G7, G8, and moved vegetation to enhance gameplay for light vehicles. So they're removing a lot, raise some vegetation and remove some vegetation. So on that one overall. Next, what we're going to go over here is going to be the crew efficiency. We're going to go over a little more detail here. You're going to be able to go ahead and in the barracks, a new button is going to allow you to remove all crew members with less than 100% XP, as you can see here in their crew skills. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump back over to the game, look in the barracks. Now you can see we have a conversion here. These are all crews. Their perks are not. When we click conversion, we got 13 members that we have the ability to convert. Now, this is only going to be for crew members that are not, 1, a special crew, 2, in a vehicle. So all these crew members here, I can convert into crew books. None of these guys have a 100% first skill crew. So basically, like I said, every crew member is now going to be trained to 100%. As you can see, this guy here, a little Kiner, he's at 83, but when I go in here and look in the conversion, he is not in here at all. As a matter of fact, there's not one German tanker in this at all. As you can see, I got French, some Americans, and some Russians for the LTTB and the T-28. So these are all the crew on this account that I have in the barracks that are not in tanks and that are not 100%. I am not, and what the big thing it is going to tell you what you're going to end up getting. Here is, and as you can see here, the training guide. You receive a training guide USA and a training guide France. I will get 4 rushing training booklets, 1 training booklet from France, and 1 training booklet from America, which is kind of weird. I don't understand. Russians, they're giving me 4. Americans, they're giving me 1 big one and then 1 small one, and then same thing with France, 1 small one and then a bunch of big ones. So I'm going to go back. We're not converting those to overall. And then if you have crews, you could drop crews out of tanks, and everyone that doesn't have any in their second skill, as none on this account have anything in their second skill, will be able to do completely. Now, as you can see, these recruits have 0 skills here. These recruits will not be added into the pool because 1, they have 0 skill, and 2, they are special crew members overall. So that conversion will not be allowed to be anybody that is a recruit. So you don't have to worry about losing any of your special recruits. And it says 0 perk. Do not have a 0 perk skill, are not unique, or reward characters, which every one of those had 0 perk skills. 1, 2, 4, or 5 of them were unique characters, and 3 of them, number 3, and 3 of them were reward characters. So again, if we click this, reward, unique, and these are 0 skill crews. That is what is going to be for the crew change. Now let's go ahead and get back over here and read some more. Renaming the qualification level to crew efficiency. Perk efficiency retrained is for free. Then you're going to, for gold, haven't tried this yet because I have not dealt with this, and provides retraining bonus for newcomers and enabling your changers to check qualifications much easier. Next thing that is coming with 124 is a new Postmortem Mode. Overall, you're going to allow to see the moment your tank was shot, and an improved camera that allow you, already known from Frontline, to observer camera. I have major problems with this observer camera. It's slow as snails. I watch other people. I don't understand why. Theirs move around real fast. I've even tried it in safe mode and it's still that way, so I don't know what it is with everybody else. You can change this all right in your settings. So if we go back into the game, go into settings right here, that is going to be right here on the main battle face interplays. So it's going to show your vehicle was destroyed. Detailed, it's going to show your vehicle was destroyed. Short, show the enemy vehicle that destroyed your vehicle, and then just show your vehicle. So it doesn't say here, this will be in non-competitive to give not give an unfair advantage. Honestly, I don't know how it gives an advantage anyways, unless you're flying around watching and looking. It's not going to allow you to spot enemy tanks if not already spotted, but it will allow you to see any spotted tank. So overall, that is what that is going to be. Alright, so right there, that's where that's going to be at. So the next next thing we're going to be going over is going to be Onslaught. It's going to start day one when 124.1 goes, so they already have a time frame that they're looking at on releasing this tank. Basically, it's the last moment. Training room features Onslaught map to hone your skills for the tournaments. Fresh customization include new camos and descriptions. You'll also be able to earn more base ratings at Iron rank for your performance. Additionally, the base rating of rating points lost in Iron and Bronze has been decreased. This is something that everyone did complain about majorly, because you could win a battle and get 25, but go and lose a battle and do well and lose 45. So everyone was complaining that you were losing way too many points on a loss, especially in the lower, making it impossible to actually progress. You could degress very easily, but progressing was really hard. So that is what is coming. So the next is the improvements to Steel Hunter. Right here will launch with enhanced platoon functionality, making it easier to find random platoon mates. If you really want to, add a random platoon member to a permanent platoon member. So just like that. And last but not least, the Tour of Duty reworking. This is going to be, yeah, we're not sure on this. We've been talking in our clan, and we're not sure of this. You complete your daily clan missions, are now called tour missions. You're going to get 3 to tackle each day. Each mission must be completed one after another, so it's going to be like your normal premium missions. So you got mission A, you have to complete before you can do mission B. You got to complete mission B before you can complete mission C, or even try. It's going to be a progressive system. Each mission must be completed one after the other. No, next one. Team up for the last 2. The final 2 missions must be completed in a platoon or a detachment with clan mates. So this means you must work with your clan members much more. As before, you could go out and just solo and help your clan. Now you actually have to play with your clan members. This is good, and this is also bad, because some clans have players that aren't really on when other people are on, and that puts that person completely out of the ability to ever do the other 2 missions. It kind of sucks. But for the clans that have people that play a lot in the same general time frame, it's going to be good, because it's going to push for more clan group activities. The manual reward collection, you will manually need to collect rewards for completing the mission, which I don't like this. I really don't like having to manually go collect rewards. I think it should be automatic. Just let it be automatic. Industrial resources for your clan. These are your rewards. And points of duty, a new clan currency. Unlocking regions during points of duty on the map will receive a reward for each region. At the end of the battle, your journey awaits the ultimate prize, the Charo 45T, a tier 10 Italian medium tank with its 3D style. So this is the big thing we've been talking about. We don't hope that they actually do, because the players that already have said tank, what are they getting out of this? There is no reason for a person in the clan, not, that most clans won't do this, but there is no reason for anybody in the clan that don't have to do this, that have this tank, to do any of this mission, to do anything with this. This actually is kind of a put off. My thought is possibly maybe, they're going to be coming out with another tier 9 or tier 10 premium or reward tank to go in replace of the Charo. That would be what I do. I would make a all new tier 10 reward tank that we have sitting on the shelf and put it into the game that has already been finally tested by super testers and on the common test server for more testers to actually play around with it. So I would put another new tank in here, and don't make it a FOMO version type of thing. Make it an alright tank, a decent overall, and in turn, it gives people that already have the Charo a chance to get a new tank. Or let's change it. Ability to select one of like 2 or 3 tanks. Leave the Charo in there and add another new tank and maybe another tank after that. That way you can select a tank. But just saying the Charo is your reward, not really the greatest one. And you can participate in the common test just before, as long as you had an account with some games played before the 11th of March. This is when they're going to clone your account. So if you had matches, whatever your account looked like on the 11th of March at 6 a.m., they cloned the whole server of people's information, and then they put it on the common test. So overall, as you can see here, here's the patch notes if you really want to go through them. Basically, the patch notes are pretty much the same of everything I just read here. Anyways, here you can see, here is the more detailed changes to the Onslaught. Nothing that I can see. The rental vehicles are going to SVD1. The mods for version 268 version 4. Yep, I don't see anything major here. So the all for one, the straight ahead, bullseye, a bunch of little other things. Over here, you can see the changes to the map, changes to the tanks. So some other tanks are actually getting some changes. Over here, as we were talking about changes, AMX AC 48, 48 frontline, the Foch 50 and the Foch B are all getting changed, and the Foch B 77. The German vehicles is only the PZ7. The Charo is getting the Cantonaro Charo, the Minotauro, the Cartonaro Charo 3, 7x7, which is basically the Minotauro, the Mark II, the Charo, the Contro Charo 1, Mark II, and the SMV CC67 are all getting a few things. To change to the Polish is getting the 63 Hurricane added to the tree. That's not adding it to the tree. UK Tech tree, Super Conqueror reload time, unorthodox AP have been changed, so it's going to fire a little bit slower. There are also super test, 2 new super test tanks, the 122V and the Object 168G. Alright, so it looks like Russia's getting more tanks. Can we stop adding Russian tanks and start adding into other nations? Tank? I mean, we are getting a whole new tank line, but honestly, a lot of these tanks are becoming premium, and Wargaming is sitting on the FOMO life. So overall, ladies and gentlemen, that is what's coming for 124. This is now. Again, this is the common test server. As it has happened before, originally Wargaming was going to go with Crew 2.0 and shrink all crews from all the way down to 1 member and change everything all at once. They said they weren't going to do that. They were going to slowly implement little stuff and test little stuff here and there. That all made it to a common test server, and it was canceled due to your feedback who played on the common test server. And this is why I say I really suggest that people go play on the common test server overall and try this stuff out. So overall, ladies and gentlemen, that is what is on Common Test 1.24.1, and it may, more than likely, will make it to the live server. But if there's something you see on here that you don't really like, the best way to actually do this and don't understand is to go to the Common Test and actually download it and test it out. I will have a link in the description to this page. And if you scroll all the way down in the very bottom, you will find the link in the section that says Common Test, why you should participate, how to download and install the yes, I understand that it is a total extra client for World of Tanks on your PC. And World of Tanks is not a small little thing, but remember that you can uninstall it at any point in time just to get rid of it if it's bogging your system down. I highly suggest that you take the moment and time to read the article if you did not understand anything that I had in here, and test out some of the stuff on the common test server yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, and I hope this video was informative and you liked it. If you did, make sure that you click that like link down below. And while you're down below, go ahead and make a comment. Is there anything or questions that you have about 1.24.1 that I might be able to answer, or something suggestion that you may have for future videos or content here on the channel? Or if you just want to leave your favorite emoji, I will be happy to respond to those too. And YouTube loves interaction, so please take a moment to comment. I like to hear back from everyone that I possibly can, and I think there's only like maybe a dozen that I've never commented back to because they were something like, hey, good job, or just little comments that really technically didn't require a feedback. But with that all being said, Ed, I hope that you did. If you're not subscribed, please take the moment to subscribe, because I do videos like this. I go over replays of mine mostly. I try to talk about good points and bad points and give a little instructiveness inside of and what my mind is thinking as I am going through the game. And this may help you think. I have been playing a lot of some more competitive in the past few weeks with my clan. We were playing maneuvers. So overall, thanks. I just noticed something I did want to mention. On the test server 1.24.1, it says the Jade Pegasus Onslaught is open until April 4th. So keep that in the back of your mind. April 4th, there might be another common test update. I don't think the common test is going to make it there yet, but it may be around the 4th. So you'll want to get that 12,000 experience in that 14 TP so you can start rushing into those Polish TDs. Unless you're going to free experience all your way through it. If you do, happy go with you. Again, if you're not subscribed and you want to keep up to date with all this stuff here, make sure that you click that subscription button. And if you want to get notification for everything I upload here, other than just my World of Tanks stuff, make sure that you click that notification bell, changing it from personalized to all to get all notifications for all items I uploaded on the channel. Well, that is all I have to say, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to get on up out of here now. I hope to see you back here again soon. But until then, this is Great Taz saying, maybe I'll see you on the battlefield.